Hello. All right. How are we doing today? Doing pretty well. Legacy. When it comes to actually being able to create and incentivize change within ourselves and our the word legacy, isn't that what it's all about? The path that we create for ourselves and our community that is not restricted within our own lifespan, but it is actually timeless in of itself. But what does it even mean to actually create a legacy? Change. Awareness is the greatest agent for change. Eckhart Tolle. Hello, my name's Kai, co-founder, CEO of Webland, Community Outcomes as a Service. When it comes to different outcomes that can be measured within our community, if you have a solution for it, whether it be environmentalism, social engagement, childcare, waste management, you name it. As long as it can be measured, we provide a platform for members of the community to actually earn cryptocurrencies and tokens for engaging with those solutions and outcomes. I also like to refer to myself as a humane technologist, but honestly, aren't we all really humane technologists? To create technology that is not within the interest of our humanity is a bit asinine, don't you think? And yet we've perpetuated and we've really taken advantage of using technology not to benefit many, but to benefit very few people for the sake of the bottom line. I also like to refer to myself as a pop, not necessarily a pop artist, maybe I give off those vibes, awesome, but honestly, positive outcomes professional, being able to actually analyze data and associate them with positive outcomes. And obviously, that is self-proclaimed, so I do what I can to push for a positive sum world that respects our humanity. And I trust that we all feel the same way when it comes to following our purpose and intention in life, creating that legacy for those around us. Let's take a deeper dive what I believe to be true, right? We, humanity, we're in a competition with nature. Isn't that what it means to actually be focused on creating solutions of technology, whether it be improving our longevity, our health? And once upon a time, we decided we couldn't be bothered to continue riding horseback, so we made a car. And even then, that was so much work, we could get places faster, so we made planes. Once we overcome nature, we'll be in a competition with another species. Now let's take a step back. Aliens. Well, as far as I understand, within my scope, I've not experienced any sort of like intelligent species beyond our own. If you guys have experienced something, please talk to me. I'm always down for a good story. If there are no species to compete with, then essentially we are in a competition with ourselves until we learn to love ourselves or we learn to destroy ourselves. And what's funny with this comes from memes, storytelling, and memetic theory. And what memetic theory is, in a nutshell, it's the theory and the belief that we have a tendency to behave as each other. Each of us, within our communities, within our own lives, we look to each other and we look to ourselves in order to dictate, what should I do in order to push things forward, in order to push life forward? This is not about memetic theory. I encourage you to do your own research on that. What seems to be the main obstacle that's actually preventing us from having a more sustainable and equitable world? What is actually preventing us from creating a community that is actually conducive towards positive outcomes? No, it is not identity politics. It is not what they are doing. It is not overconsumption. It is not hypercapitalism. These are only symptoms to a very clear problem that is in front of our face. Our culture has chosen to obsess over content without context. I'll let that sink in for a bit, because even the way that this whole talk is designed, at any moment in time, maybe somebody walks in, maybe this is put on the internet. Anything that I say can be taken out of context. We, humanity, are in a competition with nature. Well, like, ooh, what do I mean when I say that? Am I trying to say that, oh, climate change, we are the arbiters of the climate? Technically, it's a symbiotic relationship that we should build with the climate. We are not to be taking advantage of it. Once we overcome nature, we're in a competition with another species. I'm over here and now I'm sounding like I'm off my rocker, right? Talking about aliens? Species? What? Guy, what are you talking about? And it is only as we continue forward through these talks, through the solutions that we provide, through navigating the world, that actually requires time, energy, empathy, and patience to be able to look at what is in front of you, because there's always more than meets the eye. Let's think about this sentence. The person is jumping. You got that visual in your head? Now, what if I told you that the person is jumping in front of a yellow screen? Did you think about that? Like, that's just me providing more context what the person jumping means. Now, what if I said the person is jumping at the sight of their pacifier? Well, now, the person is a baby, and are they literally jumping? Literally? Let's take it a step further, right? What if I said the person is jumping out of the seat to hit a comic that had made a joke about their spouse? The person is jumping. I've completely recontextualized what that even means. At first, you may have been thinking, oh, the person is jumping up and down, however, whatever visual that you had. But there's so many ways that content can be taken. The oil that is churning this outdated engine of negative outcomes that we are perpetuating in our communities and society today, you may have heard of it. It's almost cliche to even say it. Content is king. Forget about the outcomes, forget about the context. As long as you're making content or you are creating something, even if you're not making something that solves a problem, you can make content that makes it a problem. What are the consequences of this? Well, we can see it in greed. Music, our movies have even there's a period of time, and even right now, that we really do focus about, the showmanship, the content, the attention. This even pushes into cancel culture. This even pushes into bureaucracy and litigation. Money first, ethics maybe second. Profit over people, as long as the content is there, and as long as something is there to be consumed, that's what's cool. It's a pretty dystopian culture that we're perpetuating, huh? And I trust, and I hope, that we all feel that we can actually change the dial. Instead of having negative, being able to push for this culture that is negatively affecting our communication, negatively affecting our perspectives, our decision making, what seems to be the solution? It is to take the content in collaboration with the context. It is to be able to view the multiple different perspectives within members of our community. in order to push towards those outcomes, because it's only then, if we actually look at the world around us within the context of humanity itself, can we actually work together to make the world a better place. It's good that it's starting to happen. We can all feel this. There was a recent disruption, especially with COVID-19, that actually made it very clear the different issues with the culture war that we are currently perpetuating within our society. We're putting more effort and resources towards environmental regeneration, more effort and resources into mental health, empathy, and even when it comes to, in the Western world, the fact that there are more public benefit corporations and nonprofits being created, being able to create a solution, an organization focused on the outcomes in collaboration with the content that they are distributing to our communities. What's the call to action? What's the conclusion with this? Well, it is simply we must recontextualize the way we see our problems. We can't keep looking at the world within the context of our own beliefs, opinions, and thoughts. We got to dive deeper. We have to be able to look at the world within the context of humanity. Most content holds little to no value within the context of humanity. And that's just the case. So, I trust that we are starting to really understand exactly what is the situation at hand when it comes to the experience that we're feeling within our communities. Yeah, we all want to solve these problems. We are all change makers within our own right. How you deliver the solutions that you want to deliver, as long as it's in the context of humanity, and you are collaborating with everybody, with our well-being, our collective well-being in mind, we should be able to do it. So let's push for a world that respects our humanity. Because now, that mission statement I mentioned earlier, it sounds like we're on the same page. I would hope. Much love, take care, and thank you. And when it comes to being able to work towards positive outcomes, feel free to reach out, collaborate, as long as it can be measured, and even beyond what I'm doing, to be able to look at even the students of Concordia, the organizers of this TEDx talk that we have today, to be able to talk about these ideas, that we are actually being engaged in our community and we are able to actually push towards positive outcomes that make all the difference for the health of the world around us. Because each of us have a very big role to play to make a world a better place. And there is a lot of noise and content that isn't doing anything for anyone. Thank you.